This game is not suitable for children who are easily disturbed. Oh, children. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a positive experience playing this game. I have both of those things. Hello, everybody. My name is T-Man Miner, and welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club. My friend told me to play this. Detailed content warnings, which contain spoilers. No. Why would I want spoilers? Notice the game's age rating in your region, and you consent to your exposure of highly disturbing content. Disturbing. Oh. This looks like a slice of life game. Alright, let's start this game. My name. Tim. That's my name, don't wear it out. Hey! See an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. This girl's Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But she's gonna chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. What an asshole! However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that you're thinking about ignoring me. That's mean. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in it. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Tim, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already. I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. Huh? That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did. In one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free times on games and anime. Okay, that's just the music. I thought I heard my dog, but it's just the music. I was talking about how I'm worried you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. Damn. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, guess I'll promise you that. Hey! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if it does exaggerate everything inside her head. School day is as ordinary as ever. It's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello! Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you were just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's gonna make you late to your own club. I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. Why is it blank? My screen goes black sometimes. Hold on. I pressed buttons! Bad shit happened! I got a history. I thought yeah, history. Yeah, I know. Okay. Encouragement, so I thought, you know. Know what? Well, you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There is no way I'm joining your club. Meanie. Sayori is the vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please! Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. Can't tell if Sayori is that much of an airhead or if she so cunning as to have planned all this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yeah! Let's go! Okay. History. I should probably... Whoa. Why is it not saving? Oh, that's an autosave, that's why. Cool. And thus, today marks the May... and thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone! The new member is here! I told you, don't call me a new member! Huh? I glance around the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You bought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Tim, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. Girl with a sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki. Natsuki? Yeah, Natsuki is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly in my ear and turns back to the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. This is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparatively more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet you both. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Tim. She smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuine feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Tim. We made room for you at a table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened, so there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know, just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full, and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcakes around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki's quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. She waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thanks, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did, Sayori said. Well, maybe, but not for you know, you dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess? Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so that's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica? I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the other major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica is a really great leader. Yuri nods in agreement. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that it's both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah, we'll do our best. You know it. Moving forward. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have really worked hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're all delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though, I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. What kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read the past few years, don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, you see... She traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up, she finds comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like lots of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? I don't have that because my imagination is usually better than the books that I'm reading, so I don't need to read. Does that make me seem like an asshole? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the middle level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh? Why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud! Give that back! Fine. Hey, your cupcakes, your poems? Everything you do is just as cute as you are. Yuri slides behind Natsuki and puts her hand on her shoulders. I'm not cute! She has a moe fang. Very cute. You write your own poems? I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why would she share them sometime? No. She averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing them the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Huh? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them together. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Tim? She smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. Huh? What's that? Now that we're back on the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join the club. Story may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. Very easy to do. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought, Tim, you all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's all like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yay, I'm so happy! Siri wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I'd be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Alright, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's... meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem and bring it next meeting so we can all share. She looks over at me once more. Tim, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Tim, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! Happy. Nice music, I like it. That, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances. And I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Hopelessness? Friends? Okay, say already like that. Vibrant? Kitty. Chocolate. Beauty? Shiny? I'm not doing very well, am I? Poof. Together. Games? Kiss. Hop. Oh, I have to pick 20 words. Incapable. Cheer. Rose. Lust? Bubbles. Anime. Sparkle. Valentine. Passion. I have no idea who liked the... Hi again, Tim. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in. Okay, give me a second. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Tim. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between trying to say Monica and manga. Mangaka! Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry. I want to punch this monitor. Don't worry, guys. Tim always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. You almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? Might be a little jealous. How come? You and Tim can become good friends too. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori? Huh? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. Guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant supplies. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah. I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. She reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I don't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book that she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. Can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Freaking Monica. She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point of keeping your collection organized? Someone else is gonna mess it up. She slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga? You read manga, right? Sometimes. Manga is one of those things you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. Oh, fuck it. I read manga. I'm an anime nerd. As you can see by my Infinity Castle shirt. Me and my friend laughed a lot about that. It says Infinity Castle instead of Infinity Castle. I've been into My Dress Up Darling lately. God, that's such a good manga. I love slice of life stuff. Ah! How did you know, anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is! She snatches it out of my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right in the middle of the rest. Ah, much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. No? I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box she's admiring. Parfait Girls? A series I've never heard of in my life. Probably means it's either way out of my demographic, or it's simply terrible. If you're going to judge, you can do it through the glass on the door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing. Consider this a lesson straight from the Literature Club. Don't judge a book by its cover. In fact, pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm going to show you exactly why. She shoves the book right into my hands. I stare at the cover. God, fuck. Visual novels aren't usually my forte, so it takes me a while to get through them, but we'll get there. I'll just have to edit all of this out. Oh my god, I'm tired. Back. Features 4 girls in colorful attire striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly Maui. Don't just stand there. Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Make sure my shirt's not... Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work? We can't read at the same time like that. Why's that? I guess it's easier to be close together like this. Don't just say that! You'll make me feel weird about it. She crosses her arm and scoots an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can't say it's a particularly bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches over, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I don't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing really happening yet. So I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. Kinda grew out of these since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. What? Slice of life shit's the best. So, what should I expect from this? Is there going to be a plot? Well, obviously. Think I would enjoy something that didn't have a plot? I mean, well, I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of the beginning is about simple things. Like, there's a really funny chapter where they're obsessed with a guy at the ice cream shop. But that just helps you get to know the characters. And besides, it's still entertaining. Later on, there's all kinds of drama. Like when they get into their backstories, and when some of the romance starts to happen. That's really what makes it so good. There are so many touching parts. Oh, is that so? Sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you. Hey, wait. What's that supposed to mean? Gives me a little shove. I just meant that I haven't seen you at your full power. Good save. This chapter seems like it's about baking. This is just a guess, but is there a lot of baking in this manga? Well, she pauses for a moment, as if she doesn't want to admit something. Yeah. Does that matter? It doesn't. I was just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right? That's just a coincidence. I happened to get into baking around the same time I got this manga. Like, I would ever get into something because it's in a manga. I have. A lot of the things that I've gotten into is literally because I saw it in manga. A lot of Japanese culture. I like a lot of Japanese culture just because it's in manga. I like cosplay because I saw it in a manga. Well, I've always wanted to cosplay, but I wanted to make my suits because it's in a manga. I feel bad for anyone that's that impression. I just got fucking bashed by Natsuki. Oh boy. Water. Definitely not a coincidence. I guess that explains Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, of all the hobbies to pick up from a manga, that's definitely one of the better ones. Not to mention she's really good at it, so who am I to judge? We read on a few more minutes. I finished a couple chapters at this point. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not. Even though you're just watching me read? Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. Always getting excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't? It's not... Well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Oh, sorry. Like I could ever get any of my friends to read this. They just think manga is for kids. Can't even bring it up without them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch him in the face. Ugh, I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated toward the other losers over the years. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica was kind of a jerk about it. I can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it. It's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So... Jeez, that's enough. You gonna keep reading or what? Yeah? Yeah. I flip the page. Suddenly, Natsuki starts laughing. I totally forgot that happens. She puts her fingers on one of the panel. Minori is my favorite character. You always feel a little bad for her, since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when, I shouldn't be talking about that yet. Just finish this chapter. Her voice sparkles with excitement. It's a stark contrast to her usually bossy tone. But if she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with friends, I can understand why. It's hard to express in words the feeling you get when connecting with someone like that. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom is a rare experience, the thought makes me smile a little to myself. Okay, everyone. Huh? Are you all ready with today's poems? Oh, come on. Could your timing be any worse? Sorry. I just need to make sure we have enough time. Though you do look pretty cozy over there. Natsuki suddenly noticed how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides a good 12 inches away from me. Alright. Guess I'll stop here for now. Close the book and hand it towards Natsuki. Just gonna give it back? Don't you want to know what happens? Yeah, but Monika just said, don't be dumb. Just take it home with you. Huh? Is that really alright? I say that mostly because I really didn't plan on using my spare time to read this. Well, of course. It would take forever to finish if you didn't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow, so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you. By tomorrow? Only got part way through the volume so far. Might fall behind on some shows if I try to get through this. But I suppose it's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. Or am I more scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? Alright then. I stand up. I return to where I put my stuff and carefully slip the book into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sari and Monika enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sari's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monika wrote hers in a composition notebook. Yeah. See Monika's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who am I gonna share with? Natsuki. I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Okay, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all, never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monika said. Well, it would be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours wasn't really bad. If yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha, well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So in other words, you're saying you liked it. Her retort gets caught in her throat. You're so... You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that. You don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. Moski must really hate me or something. Can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Okay. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. Huh? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yeah, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read. It hits hard. Like this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can really be disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I get it. But the other nice thing about writing simple is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. I like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Don't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Well, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but Natsuki's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. I don't know who I clicked on. I think it was Sayori. This is a good poem. Are you sure it's your first time? Yeah, it's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. That's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, God, can you stop with turning black? I was afraid you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the clubroom. Well, of course. I'm not into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something only good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her? Yeah. I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleep from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. What the fuck? I want breakfast. Sayori. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No! Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, At least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah, I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice. Or, how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah, especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. Get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Ah, yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. I guess I look forward to it. Yuri! Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes. More than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. Forgot to start speaking. Shh. It's fine. Don't force yourself. I'm not. Just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. It's your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No! Did I raise my voice? I'm sorry. Yuri brushes her face in her hands. Berries! I couldn't help but notice it's been several minutes and we still haven't gotten anywhere. Might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there were specific writing habits that usually typical of new writers. And having been that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressive... What the fuck? Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, it's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. Not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem, too? Okay. I love sharing my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily. That's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. Not what? Handwriting's great. It took time for you to read. Well, I don't read script very. Script? Is that the handwriting style? Because that was... Okay. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was very descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Tim. I suppose you did only glance it over, after all. Remember that poets often express their thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in our last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things, too. Yeah, maybe you're right. Guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Well, I got one choice, and that's Monica. Hi, Tim. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm better off going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like it. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh, jeez. No. Makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. There are lots of poems or stories out there that are no more than a few simple words. They can be funny, endearing, or even sad, and sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody. I'll see. So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kinds or styles, but I'll help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, feel like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. stretching forever into everything, a hole of infinite choices. I realized now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out, and he, on the other side, was looking in. Okay. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not the right person to ask for feedback. That's okay. Yeah, that kind of style's gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. Kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends, we'll... blah, 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 blah. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about this, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. It's a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. Oh! That's cool. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. She dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it didn't really come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Tim did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon. Unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Tim liked my poem too, you know. He told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Tim appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Tim started showing up. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me, as if they noticed I was standing there. Tim? She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most efficient. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that too, right, Tim? Well? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Well... Me personally, I use more simple language to convey complex emotion, because I find it hard to understand deeper language, but that's mostly because of my dyslexia. No, mostly because of me being stupid. I guess I'll go with Natsuki. Yuri, you're really talented. Well... But Natsuki has a point. I think that... I rack my brain in an attempt to back myself up. Can you turn back on, please? Thank you. I think that conveying feelings with few words can be just as impressive as well. It lets the reader's imagination take over. And Natsuki's poem did a really good job at that. Yeah, it did, didn't it? Shows how much you know. That's not... Natsuki. I think that's enough. Huh? Me? But she was so mean to me. Natsuki's voice whines. Look, what we talked about yesterday was right. Writing is a really personal thing, and sharing it can definitely be hard. It looks like we learned that today. Even small criticism can lead to something pretty heated. Glance over my shoulder. Sayori is nodding vigorously. Yeah, so you don't need to feel threatened. You're a great writer, Natsuki. Natsuki's voice gets caught in surprise. Thanks for noticing. She finally mutters that, barely audible. Yuri. She looks at me dejectedly. With a face like that, I can't help but feel bad for her as well. I'm sure that Natsuki didn't mean everything she said. So you don't need to feel threatened either. Well, if you say so. Hey, it's not like you need to apologize for me, Tim. Sheesh. She takes a breath. The thing about... She glances around the room. Everyone stop staring at me! Unsurprisingly, Natsuki has a harder time with it than she boasted. Sayori and Monica look away. Anyway, the thing about your boobs, I didn't mean it, okay? That's all. She looks away, avoiding eye contact with anyone. Yeah, you're naturally beautiful, Yuri. Sayori? I'll go make some tea. I was just trying to help. I'm sure she appreciated it, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. Well, now that we're past that, everyone read each other's poems, right? I hope that it's worthwhile for everyone. Especially you, Tim. And to be honest, it's a nice change of pace from the lazying around we got a little used to. So my joining the club was responsible for ruining the atmosphere. No, not at all, not at all. There's still a time before we go home, so we'll all relax for a bit. Of course, besides chatting, we do literature-related things in the club room. So maybe you can take the chance to pick up a book or do some writing. After all, that's what the club is for. I disagree, Monica. Huh? About what? That's not the most important thing about the literature club. The most important thing is having fun. Of course. Well, I guess that's why you're vice president, Sayori. In the end, though, Monica's right. Being in a literature club probably means that I can't spend all my time doing nothing. But in the end, I guess it's been worth it so far. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Tim, how about you? Yeah, I'd say about the same. It was neat talking. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something about your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing... Oh god, it's black again. Impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Tim, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. She beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Tim, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone likes you too. That's... Every day is gonna be so much fun. Looks like Sayori still hasn't caught onto the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Whoa! Just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Alright. Save time. And I'm going to leave this one here. I hope you guys... thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, you know what to do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, do all those fun things down below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!